Miss Pugh, don't speak over me. Miss Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen, Miss Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me.
Okay, pause. Did she really try to argue mid-interruption while being told not to interrupt? This is like trying to talk over your GPS and then getting mad you ended up in a ditch. Be honest. Would you have the patience to deal with someone who keeps tossing respectfully around like seasoning but still ignores the judge?
Where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
You can go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it. Morning, are you Janetta Pugh?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the what?
I'm the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand.
Beneficiary of that estate.
Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And
Let's unpack this. Miss Pugh doesn't want a court-appointed attorney because she claims it's a conflict of interest. That's a common sovereign citizen tactic, rejecting all authority and procedure unless it suits them. But in real courtrooms, rejecting legal representation without a valid replacement is a fast track to losing your case.
I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the state bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right, so Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state.
Why? Know what's coming, right? The infamous, "Where's the verified claim against my trust" line. Classic sovereign citizen bingo. But let me ask you, do you think these folks actually believe this script will work? Or are they just trying to confuse the court long enough to delay consequences?
And will be considered conflict of interest, Your Honor.
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself, or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you, or are you going to hire someone?
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it, and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus, and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel to effective defense.
It's overruled. You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
No, it's not okay. Right now, you're completely embarrassing yourself, and we all find it hilarious. However, I must admit that I'm loving this judgmental attitude. She's just sitting there waiting for this girl's ridiculous sovereign citizen narrative to run out of steam. These people always believe they have discovered some hidden legal cheat code, but the law actually doesn't operate that way.
And we're back in the twilight zone. The judge is trying once again to steer this train wreck onto a functional track. Imagine being a trained legal professional and having to explain basic courtroom procedure to someone who thinks legal codes are optional if you declare yourself exempt.
Which is why it's so funny. It goes without saying that the courts have repeatedly decided that stating that I do not consent does not erase the charges. Like, jurisdiction doesn't operate that way. Let's be honest though, and I'm shocked that this stupid moron can read it all. In this community, seeing that is extremely uncommon. In all honesty though, I simply must know how she came to be in this situation. Like, how did she think about this? This is really awkward, even if she seems like a kind girl. She even uses the phrase, "Your Honor," and is polite. She's clearly lost at the moment and is just clinging to anything she can find. Sincerely, I'm not sure how someone could fall down this deep of a rabbit hole, so please share your thoughts about this gal with me. For example, reading the script and thinking about being a sovereign citizen is one thing, but actually carrying it out is quite another. This isn't over yet, so let's plunge right back in, even if I'll never comprehend it.
So here's the thing, Miss Pugh. I appreciate your position, but listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh, don't speak over me.
Respectfully, Your Honor, with my incarceration being
Miss
involved-
Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on, listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why, is because you have a lawyer. And your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
I do not agree or comply to your appointed
Go back.
agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled.
Is to the state.
Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
Yes, that was embarrassing. But wait, there's still more to come. In actuality, this sovereign citizen returns later. And don't worry, I've got that hearing covered too. Dealing with a sovereign citizen like this child is essentially like debating with a brick wall, except the brick wall believes it knows constitutional law. For this reason, I believe the judge should be given a prize for patience. The judge deserves a lot of praise. I mean, I'm here for the judge as he quietly tries to make sense of all this bullshit. Although she is being somewhat irritable, she is also being quite patient with her, which is okay, I suppose. However, please share your thoughts about the judge thus far with me. Although I believe she is managing this very well, let's go on to the next hearing and see if the situation becomes even more heated. Let's get started.
So, Miss Pugh, Mr. Jeffries has been appointed to represent you. He's just been given, he's trying to get caught up real quickly on all the information and the discovery in your case. I'm going to reset your case so that he can get all of that. Once he gets it, he'll be out there to go over it with you, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree to comply with any of your appointed court agents, considering that their first duty is to the state.
I understand. We've had this conversation before.
And for your record, I'll be representing myself.
So if you want to represent yourself, there's some things. Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me. If you want to represent yourself, then there is a process that we have to go through, and we'll do that today. If that's what you want to do, we'll get your case set for trial and we'll go forward that way. It is highly inadvisable for you to represent yourself. Lawyers have many, many years of training. They understand the law. They understand how a trial works, because here's what happens. When you're in a trial and you represent yourself, you're expected to know and follow all of the rules of evidence, all the rules of procedure. And so you're really at a disadvantage if you don't know those things. And so
Let's be real. Representing yourself in a felony case without legal training is like bringing a spoon to a sword fight. The judge is laying out the brutal truth, rules of evidence, trial procedure, cross-examinations. But Miss Pugh? She's still somewhere between denial and delusion. Buckle in. The real consequences are about to hit.
you have to do everything just like the assistant district attorney would. And if you don't, you're going to be in front of a jury and it's going to show, and it's just not going to be, it usually does not work out in your benefit. But I have to go through with you some questions first before we do that. And then if you still want to do that, then there's a couple of options, and we'll go over those as well. Okay. So I am supposed to ask you, I'm going to go through these questions. I need you to answer them if you want to represent yourself, because this is required. All right. So have you ever studied the law?